morning, good morning. Sorry I haven't been with you for a while. Obviously, I've had a bit of a few family problems. Um, so I apologise for not being with you, but I should be with you again back weekly. Everything's sorted. I hope you're all well. A few hellos. I can see Cornelia is on. Welcome. Nicola, welcome. Mal, hello. Good evening, Michaela. I hope you're well. Good evening. Well, so it's morning here, Mal, so I don't presume you're in a different country. Yeah, everything's okay now. Unfortunately, I had a loss in the family, and it's been a bit difficult, but we're getting back there now, thank you. Hello, Kiana. I hope I'm saying that right. Mel McConnell, yeah, Victoria. You were from Australia, yes, so that's why we're in different time zone. Teresa, good morning. Thank you for joining. If I look like I'm not looking at the camera, that's because the camera's over here and the thing, the comments are over there. So I'm sorry about that, but I'm not very good technical. So, morning, Elaine. Helen Smith, good morning. Teresa, I think I've said hello. Nita, hello. And welcome. Hello, I hope you're well as well, Nita. Helen. Right, let's see where we're going. And thank you all for joining, and I really appreciate that. Sorry I haven't been with you for a while, but as I said, we've had a bit of a loss in the family, so it's been a bit difficult. But I'm back with you now. The sun's shining, although it's very, very cold in Birmingham. But we're here and we'll do our best, and we'll see where we can go. I'll tell you a little bit how I work. Sometimes I can work directly. Sometimes Spirit doesn't give it me that way. Spirit will give it me in a totally different way. They'll give me a bit of information, and they'll make me work, and they'll make me feed off the information, and then see if I can pick up who the information's for. Hello, Holly. You're well. Thank you very much, Melissa. And you, Nita, thank you. Right, so let's see where we're going. Right, so I know I've got a man with me, and I know that he gives me the name William, and he says Bill, so I presume Bill was short. I don't know whether that's his name or there's a connection to William with him. I haven't quite worked that one out yet. I know he's telling me he was a bit of a lad when he was younger, and he's saying that laughingly. He's on about that. I know he would have liked playing darts. I know he would have liked fishing. He seemed like he liked a lot of sports. When he comes forward, he's got a cardigan on, and he keeps on trying to put he's showing me something in the pocket, but I can't quite see what that is. When he comes forward as well, I know that he would have been a smoker, because when he's talking to me, he's got a cigarette hanging out the side of his mouth. So I know he would have been quite a heavy smoker. Anybody can get this information. My granddad was called William. Lovely, thank you. Right, Melissa, would you understand me saying that granddad would have wore cardigans and he smoked? Morning, Kerry. I say cardigans, but I'm saying that he had pockets that he always used. Something, always had things in his pocket. Right, okay. So what he's saying as well, he's saying he would have put his car, would have had car keys. So I know he would have drove, because he's shown me that the car keys or keys of some sort that are in his pocket. And he's showing me about that. He's showing me the keys. Now the keys are obviously significant in some way, because he keeps showing me these keys. So I don't know whether, Melissa, whether are you waiting on a move or something like that, or are you planning on moving? And Grandad's telling me about you moving and that it's going to be coming up in the future. Are you planning on a move? Because he's showing me these keys. Morning, Carolyn. Showing me these keys in his pocket. Now there's a reason he's showing me these keys. So these keys are significant in some reason, some way. I don't know whether they're significant for you, and he's telling me about something that's going to be happening, or starting a car accident in my car. Thank you. I'm so sorry about that. That is what he's on about. And he's showing me the keys, and he's mentioning about a car. Thank you. I am really, really sorry about that, but this is what he's mentioning. Right then. Okay. Let's see what. Would you understand? I can imagine you did, but he's saying that it's really, really, really not too hard, and it's kind of put you out of sync. And he's saying about that you've been through such a difficult time, and accepting, and I think you feel a little bit to blame because it was your car. Would you understand that, Melissa? And he's mentioning about that was there something mechanically with the car that you questioned whether that had played a part. Would you understand that, Melissa? Because he's on about something about, yeah, he's on about something mechanically, and he's bringing my attention to the tyres. Now, I don't know what he's meaning here, but he's bringing my attention to the tyres on the car. Would you understand why he's doing that? Morning, Katrina. Yeah, okay. I don't think what he's saying there was anything wrong, but it was almost the questioning in your mind. Was this right? Was that right? Was this right? Was that? And I'm feeling like um, that he's telling me about blaming yourself. Would you understand that? Because he's on about blaming and looking for answers. Okay, thank you. But I'm sorry about that, Lisa. But he's mentioning about that. Okay, okay. Right, and Grandad's also mentioning about the questioning of did your friend suffer? And he's saying no. He wants to come through to tell you that there was no suffering. It was over, and your friend didn't, just went. Oh. And he's on about that. And he's saying, he's telling me that you're the kind of person, and he's saying you're the kind of person that always takes on everybody else's blame. And he's saying that this could not have been prevented. It was something that happened, and it was his time, if that makes sense. He's saying about, oh, this is crazy. It made me feel all cold, actually. He's saying about encounters with angels, and he's mentioning about first time encounters with angels. So I believe that when you met this man, I know you said you'd only met him the first time when you've been texting for a while. He's saying it felt different, and he's saying, crazily, he's saying about being touched by an angel. Would that make sense to you? And he's saying we only have encounters. Some people never have them, but other people do. And he's saying about feeling a calm and a peaceful and safe feeling around this gentleman. Okay. Like you say, many lives. Okay, thank you. And Granddad's on about that, and he's also on about right. Okay, he's saying when your number's up, your number's up. When you are called, he's telling me about it's like last orders in a bar. When they call last orders, it's time, and it was time for him. Heaven was waiting for him, and he'd got lots and lots of beautiful things ahead of him to do, because he's saying about him being really, really special. Okay. Also, he's mentioning to me about the work that you need to do on yourself, that he needs you to continue with the work that you've been doing, if that makes sense, and what this is working on yourself. He said you've grown in such a lot of ways that you don't even realise. And he's saying that from the spirit world, they're around supporting you. And I know this gentleman is as well. And I know you're saying that you sense this man around you, and I believe he will be around you. But I believe that you've asked for him to give you signs that he's there and everything. And he's saying, Granddad's saying, you're just not ready for that yet. And when the time is right, he will be there. He'll come to you. He's telling me that although it was only a very short encounter, there was a beautiful connection. And he's telling me to tell you that there's a lot of happiness coming for for you in the future, because this man's going to be around you, supporting you, even from the spirit world, and that Grandad wants you to know that you are stronger than you think, and they are really there for you and are all supporting you. And with that, love, I'm going to leave you to love. Melissa, thank you very much for working with me. What a lovely, lovely, lovely Grandad that decided to come through at a time that you needed to hear from the spirit world, from your friends, and Grandad decided to come through and tell you everything was okay and he was okay. And that's what happens, ladies and gents. We don't always get what we want, or who we want to come through, but we get who we need, and that makes a big difference. So my kittens decided to climb on the table, and they come through because it's what we need at that time, and that's why Grandad would have come through. And Melissa, make sure that you take everything that we've got Grandad saying to you about that the future is going to be a lot better, because you're getting all this support from the spirit world. And thank you for working with me, beautiful. Let's see where we're going. Well, I keep on getting a lady, but I keep getting this lady's calling May. Now, whether she's looking for somebody called May, that's how I feel like what she's doing. She's calling out for May. Now, whether May being the time of the month or being a name, but this lady's calling out May. Now, is there somebody on here that something they're waiting for, something that's going to take place in May, or they know this lady would be called May? I don't know. Okay, let's give you a little bit more and see where we're going. Right, okay. So it could be for you as well, Stace. Let's see where we're going. Right, so this lady, when she comes forward, she's telling me she carried a few extra pounds. That's what she's saying. She's quite small as well, and when she walks towards me, I notice there's a limp as well. She's got a little bit of a limp, so she would have had a limp on the one side, and she's drawing my attention to the hip, so I know it would have been something to do with the hip. And she's laughing and saying that about one leg being shorter than the other. I think that would have been a personal joke that she would have mentioned with the limb and one leg being shorter than the other. She's laughing about that. But she also brings in the name George, and she keeps on saying about George as well. So there's a connection to George. And right, and she's mentioning George, and she's saying about St. George's Day and the being that him being named after St. George's Day. Right, lovely. Thank you, Stace. Definitely with you then, aren't we? Yeah, okay. All that information feels right. So let's see what she's got to say. Okay, well, Stace, would you understand? Have you been learning or thinking about learning about something to do with pendulum? Now, I know we can learn with pendulum. Have you been? I can't remember what the name is. Um, just well, anyway, and she's showing me holding a pendulum. Would you understand why she's bringing this forward? You've used pendulum, okay, lovely. Because she's on about a pendulum, and she's saying about the being. Why would you understand, Stace, as well? Why she's showing me that I don't know whether you know, you know the old wives where they hold um a wedding ring over a pregnant lady's belly, and it'll swing either way to let them know whether it's a girl or a boy. Would you understand that somebody who would have or would have done that? Okay, right, yeah, right, because she was mentioning about. She's also mentioning about. Um, okay, she's showing me lots and lots and lots of daffodils. Would you understand why I'm being shown that? She's showing me, look, and it's like I feel that they're surrounding me where I live, and when I see the daffodils come out, that's the time I feel happy. If that makes sense. Right, okay. That's great, lovely. As long as you know what it's for, why they're saying it, and it's just as you know, it's just information and validation. So that's probably why they're showing me why she's showing me the daffodils. Okay, well, so if you can see how my hand is, this is how she's making me feel that I want to do what I want to do. Why she's making me feel like that, I haven't quite got that yet. But she's making me feel like I need to, well, I want to cup my hand in the other. Have you had a bad hand, Stace? Have you had a bad hand? Because I'm feeling like I'm supporting the other hand. Bad wrist. Okay, yeah. Okay. I think that's what she's mentioning about that. So, because she's making me feel that I need to support the other one. And she's saying a lot about this, about the support, and she's mentioning about this is a lot of what's going on at the moment in your life. She's saying about that that you're not feeling totally supported in what's going on in your life, and she's mentioning about that sometimes you feel like saying, you know what, I've given my neck and thrown the towel in, and she's saying about you being much better than that and much stronger than that, and that you know that when these difficult times come along, they're always there to try you and test you. And she said, and this is why that spirit sends it to you to test your strength. And she's mentioning about that. Would you understand why she's saying your head works in a different way to everybody else's? So I think what she's trying to say is that you think in a different way to what other people do. and she's saying about that your thinking's totally different. People think, oh, we should do it this way, we should do it that way, and you've always got a different way, because she's saying about that you being more, and she's using the word assertive in things that you do. You look deeper in. And she's saying you need to, it doesn't matter what she's saying about, if there's 100 people around you and 100 people are saying, right, we'll help you, you don't want that. You want to do and work things out for yourself. It's not selfish or anything like that. It's just your way. You have to do, because she's telling me that then you feel that you only can blame yourself if it doesn't turn out right. And yes, right, okay. And she's saying it's okay to let your guard down. So I feel that you're holding your guard up at the moment in the situation, and she's saying it's okay to let your guard down. Not every situation will turn out like the last. Sorry, ladies. I just knocked everything onto the floor. I'm back with you. Not everything will turn out like the last time. And she's saying about it's all too well that you like to do things yourself, but she's saying at the moment life feels a bit like you're on a stepping stone, and I feel like when she says that, I'm feeling like that one stone is close to the next, but then there's a bigger step for the next one, and it's like I've got to worry that I'm going to miss my step. That makes sense, and that's the way she's showing it me. I can only give it you the way that she's showing me. Okay, and she's also mentioning, now this is a saying in her, the way she's saying baby steps, baby steps. And she's showing me baby steps. She's saying that will get you where you need to be. Don't push things. Things will unfold in its own time. She's telling me about that you do so much good for everybody, and sometimes you feel a little bit, you know, how can I put it? She's saying you think, I do so much for everybody, but nobody ever does it, and I feel a little bit sorry for myself at times. And she said, that's not you. You don't do feeling sorry for yourself. And she's telling me to tell you to shake yourself up. Hi, Sue. Hi, Pauline. Karen. And she's saying that isn't you. You've got to shake yourself up and dust yourself off. That's what she's saying. And start again. Breathe and start again. That's what she's saying. She's saying about things will turn out. She's also mentioning September. She's saying about September. So whether something significant is going to happen in September or coming up at September. But I feel that September is important. And she's mentioning about September. She's also mentioning about Right, okay. Well, have you refused to go on a trip somewhere? Because she's on about a trip that birthday in September. She's on about somebody offering you to go somewhere and you refused. Do you understand what she means about that? If you don't know about that, I feel that there's going to be an offer to go somewhere, and she's saying, take it. You'll be the best thing that you ever did. She wants you to know that it'll be the best thing ever for you, and it'll help you so much. Even though you're going to be very reluctant to agree to go, she's saying it'll be the best thing. I know there's much love coming from the spirit world for you. You know that anyway. That everybody's all around you and they're helping you with your work. And if you're learning something again, I feel that there's some kind of learning going on, and they're saying about that you're doing really well, and that it will go from strength to strength, strength. And thank you ever so much for working with me, Stace. A pleasure as always. Let's see where we're going. So I've got my kitten behind me, going absolutely crazy. I don't know what he's doing. It's, but I know I've got a man that's stepping forward, and he's got a beard. And he's saying, he's giving me the name Derek, and I don't know whether Derek being his name or connected to him. Okay. He's telling me that he wasn't a man who had a very big family, but he had family, but he wasn't very big. He's telling me about that he lived a very simple life. He's also mentioning about, I feel that he lived alone, and he's saying about people mentioning and saying about he was a bit of a recluse. That anybody understand this man? If there's information that comes through while I'm doing a reading as well, remember, take what you can as well of that, because sometimes we do get a split reading and the information is from more than one person. So if anything resonates with anybody, please take what you can of that. Right, we'll go back to this gentleman. So he's telling me he would have been a bit of a recluse. No, he would have been mentioned that he was a bit of a recluse. Okay. Would you understand, Holly, that the Derek name? Right, you don't know yet. Okay, right. Okay, well, I'll carry on. Just let's see where we go with it. Right, okay. So I feel that this man's telling me that he had family, but he didn't really mix with them. He would say hello and that if he seen them. He was never rude, but he kept himself very much to himself. just listening, Michelle, as well. Hi, Paulie. He's saying about that he kept himself very much to himself. Well, I know as well that okay. Right, okay, we might have this could be a few people. Let's see where this goes. Right, he's mentioning to me as well that there was a time in his life, there was quite a big time in his life that there was a bit of, there was a depression went on. I'm feeling really sad and down and low, and I feel that I'm really struggling with depression and anxiety. Okay, addiction. Okay. Would you understand that we don't give medical reasons and things like that, but would you understand that the addiction is what made me pass over? Can spirit can come through whichever way they want to. None of us can say no. It's just the way spirit comes through, whatever they choose to overdose. Thank you. Right, lovely. So I'm feeling that. Would you understand it being an accidental overdose? Would you understand that, Holly? Because I'm feeling that it wasn't something that it wasn't. Yes, it was an accident. Thank you. Okay, right. Because I'm feeling that I want to say that. Why am I keep? I don't know whether you've heard. You know what the song. He keeps on singing, but the drugs don't work. They just make me worse. I know I'll see your face again. Would you understand why he keeps on singing this? Okay, thank you. Well, because that's what he keeps on singing to me, and he's telling me to sing it to you. Excuse the voice, everybody. Um, and he's laughing about that. He's mentioning about you had a lot of good times and a lot of fun together, and he's mentioning about that some of the times you would just sit and laugh about nothing. Would that make sense? Because he's saying about anybody else would think them two are nuts, but it was just the way we were. We would laugh about anything. Yeah. And he's saying when he was indoors and when he was with you and he was confident, but as soon as he walked through that door, his confidence went. Would that make sense to you? Because he's telling me about the fear of going outdoors. Would you understand that? That there was a big anxiety around that. And he's mentioning about the fear of going. I know that I would have gone outdoors. Okay, thank you. But it would have been something that if I could prevent or not do, then I'd rather not do it. But if I had to, I'd do it. But I didn't like it, that feeling. Would you understand about why he's mentioning about mom and disappointment? Do you understand that? And he's on about mom and disappointment. And he's saying about disappointing a lot of people. About disappointment and disappointing a lot of people. He let us know. He's saying to tell you that he's working on himself in the spirit world, and he's done a lot of work. Why is he showing me an Easter egg? I know Easter's coming, but he's showing me an Easter egg, and he's showing me the gold wrapper that's on the Easter egg, and he's on about breaking the Easter egg up and leaving it in the tray and sitting and eating Easter egg. Whether that's something you've done, I don't know, but he's showing me about an Easter egg and breaking it up and sharing the chocolate. And he's showing me chocolate buttons. I would think somebody likes chocolate buttons. He's mentioning about that. He's saying about that he knows that things have been difficult for you. Why does he keep on making me feel there was a child involved as well? Because I'm feeling like a little girl keeps coming into my mind as well. He keeps mentioning this little girl. Thank you. So, how amazing. So he's bringing the chocolate buttons in for your daughter. Oh, God bless him. Yeah. And he's mentioning about this little girl, and he's bringing his Easter egg, and he's breaking it up, and he's got chocolate buttons. He wants me to tell you that he's sad for about how things turned out, but he's in a better place. And the only regret he has is that he didn't treat you how you should have been treated. That's what he's saying. He didn't treat you in the way that you should have been treated. And he said he's sorry for that. But he's always around you. Like he's mentioning about, I don't know whether you sensed it or whether you will now, but he's mentioning about blowing gently by your ear. And he's saying about he kisses you on the cheek good night. He's always around a little girl. He's going to always be there and protect her. And he wants me to tell you that he's he's sorry for everything that he should have put right before his passing. But he knows that you're going to do an amazing job. So I think that's with his daughter. He's mentioning about doing. He hasn't got no worries because he knows that you're going to do an amazing job, and you are doing an amazing job. He wants me to tell you how much he loves you, and he wants his mom to know he's sorry. And with that, I'm going to leave his love with you. He's very emotional when he's coming through. He's making me feel really emotional. I feel that there's a lot of regret, a lot of. I feel that he punished himself a lot for things that his addiction had took over, and I'm telling him that it wasn't his fault, and he's just shucking his shoulders and holding his hand out, like to say, wow. But he's working on himself, and he's in a better place than what he was. That's what he's saying. And he said he's getting all the help he needs now that he wouldn't accept before, if that makes sense. And with that, I'm going to leave his love. Thank you so much, Holly, for working with me. What time are we on? We might have time for another quick one. Let's see where we're going. Right, Linda Owen. Have you got? Can I ask you if you've got mum in spirit? Linda Owen. Can I ask you if this mum in spirit? Linda Owen. Yes, only passed. October. Right. Would you understand that? Is that mum in your picture? Is that mum and you in your picture? Because this lady's bringing my attention to the picture. She made me stop on your name, and she's mentioning about the picture. Yeah, okay. Well, because mum's saying to me, it's been a very difficult time for you and for the others, but she's saying that you seem to have took this really, really hard, a lot harder than everybody else has. And she's saying she doesn't like seeing you sad. She doesn't seeing you doing the things that you used to do. And she's telling me about outings. Did you do a lot of outings with mum? Because she's saying about we had lots of outings. That's her words. And she's saying about you being close, like sisters. That's what she's mentioning. We were like sisters, not like mum and daughter. Right, and she's mentioning about, I don't know if it's the way she passed or what, but she's saying, well, my heart just stopped beating. Would you understand that? And that's what happens. That's what she said. My heart just stopped beating. Massive stroke, thank you. Okay. I'm sorry about your loss. Okay. Would you understand that every loss is a shock, but because of the way Mum was, because I'm feeling quite active and quite a bit of a spring chicken, that it was a big shock because of the way she was, and it wasn't whatever anyone would have thought that she would have passed if with, because it was just so out the blue. I don't feel that there was any illness before, if I can explain that, or there wasn't a long illness before. Although she's saying to me she did have some headaches before, but she's saying they weren't too bad, they were just a headache. Would you understand that? And would you understand about blood pressure? Well, she's mentioned about something to do with blood pressure. Are you suffering with blood pressure, or did she suffer? Because she's mentioning about something to do with blood pressure. And she's saying she didn't go to the doctors much. She'd go if she needed to, but she'd rather not go. Yeah. And she's saying back she would have gone to the doctors if she needed to, but she didn't bother. Oh, you've got high blood pressure, okay. Okay. So what Mum's saying is that, right, okay, yeah. She's telling me it's stress. That's what she's saying. She's always stressed out. Would you understand, Linda? She's saying it's stress. And I do worry over, she's saying, because she does stress out over everything. Hi, Crystal. She's saying about you stress over everything. And she's telling me about you take the world's worries on. You take everybody else's worries on. Okay. Right, okay. Would you understand why Mum's just saying let it be? Just let it be. You don't need the stress. This is what she's saying. Just let it be. Nothing can change, she said. Nothing can change. And she said she believes that when time's called, it's your time, and there's nothing you can do about it. And she's saying things aren't worth the worry, and she's saying that she doesn't want you to stress over it, and she just wants you to let it go. She said you can get answers that you're looking for, but it isn't going to change anything. The sooner you worry about your own health and about the stress that you're having. She's telling me to tell you to go and lie on a beach somewhere and forget about everything. This is what she's saying. She's to go and lie on a beach somewhere and forget about everything. I haven't gone far. I'll always be around there. And she's bringing some roses forward. Have you taken roses to her recently? Because she's bringing me some roses and showing me roses. Yeah. That's where she's on about then going out on holiday. She wants you to lie on the beach somewhere and just forget about everything. That's what she's saying. She's saying it's not going to change anything. She wants me to tell you how much she loved you and how dear you was to her and how important you was, and for being her best friend. That's what she wants me to say. She wasn't just a daughter, she was my best friend. She's telling me to say thank you for the candle. So I don't know what that means, but it's supposed to, it means something to you. Thank you for the candle. She's always had beautiful thoughts and beautiful ideas, meaning you. And she's saying about you being such a special girl even. There, okay. She's saying about you was a very, very, very special little girl. She said she was always entertaining us. Yeah. She was always entertaining us. But she was such a good girl. That's what she's saying. Such a good little girl. She's I know you always say that about your own, but she really was. She's telling me to tell you she loves you all the stars and the moon. And she said, when you need her, which I think something, she said it's on about something, she'll be there holding your hand like she would have always. And she said she loves you so, so much. And with that, I'm going to leave her. Love, what a lovely, really lovely lady. She had a very, very pure heart. I could feel that around her. She was lovely. And like usual, we come to our end, and it's always really, really hard to say goodbye. But I would like to express and tell you all that when the messages come through, if you recognise some parts of it, always take what you can, because it doesn't necessarily mean it isn't just for you as well. Sometimes spirit come through in the most craziest ways. I'm going to be again here next week again with you, so please join me. It's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you very much to all these beautiful spirits that have come through and gave me the privilege of bringing the lovely messages I've brought through this morning for you. And with that, much love. Thank you.